£117 million. £117 million. Chelsea have just paid Aston Villa for their star boy to go from Birmingham to London. And somehow I don't think that's the transfer window done. The rate this transfer window is going, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the biggest story of the week. It also looks like our prayers have been answered. Samina, waka waka, Beautiful. Leon Bailey looks like he could well be on his way to Hull City. Oh, blame mate, I do not know what you're cooking up in this transfer window, but I'm here for it. We have broken the transfer record for a British player. João Gomes has literally just been announced by the club this morning. Visit Rwanda has divided the fan base, and still, despite losing the World Cup, Emi Martinez has acted within the club's best interest, literally going on TV and asking players to sign for Aston Villa. What more do we want from the man? So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm Jay, welcome back to the Terrace View. And if this is your first time joining us here on the Terrace View, we run the show through these 5 segments. So the show run through then, Villa headlines, transfer talk, one talking point, fan question of the week, and one thing we're looking forward to as a fan base. So grab yourself a brew, or maybe grab yourself a beer if you feel like you're going to need it for this one, because it's a big emotional ride. And let's start with a story which nobody saw coming. Isn't that right, Arsenal fans?
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
Let's rip this plaster off. Morgan Rogers, he's now a Chelsea player. Now, technically, I know nothing's been announced yet, but that deal is as good as done. The contract has been signed. The medical is done. The paperwork still needs to be finalised, but let's be honest, this one is done. Chelsea have agreed a British record fee of £117 million, if you didn't get the picture already. Let's say it one more time for the people at the back, £117 million. That's not only the British record transfer fee for a British player, it's Aston Villa's largest ever sale. Sorry, big lad. And I'll be honest with you, Villa fans, I've spent most of the day trying to comprehend how I feel about this. The fan part of me, absolutely gutted. Morgan Rogers, our star boy, had him on the back of most of my shirts. He's now gone. I don't care how much money you've offered. I thought it was going to be 130 mil from what we were all hearing and reading. I didn't want Morgan Rogers to leave. He's 23, Europa League player of the tournament, one of the most exciting footballers in England, and somebody who looked like becoming the genuine face of this football club for the next few years. So emotionally, I can see why this hurts. But the logical side of me looks at this one and goes, £117 million. And that is an unbelievable amount of money. And let's be honest for a second, it was inevitable. It was always going to come. It was just which club was willing to put up that fee that we were after. Now, both things can be true. You could be gutted that the star man is leaving, but you can also accept the fact that this fee we have received completely changes Aston Villa's transfer strategy and reshaping our squad at the right time. Not just now, but in future transfer windows. Because remember, this isn't 50 million. This isn't 70 million. This isn't even 100 million. It is 117. This deal is going to change our club's future. Now, Arsenal wanted him. Arsenal really wanted him. They had Saka and Rice in his ear at England training camp all World Cup. But along come Chelsea and simply splash the cash. Money talks in this game, ladies and gents. Sometimes football really is that simple. As evident in the Premier League and what we're up against, the biggest wallet wins. One thing that really did make me chuckle, and fair play to Middlesbrough, there is somebody sat at Middlesbrough FC right now laughing all the way to the bank. They've sold Morgan Rogers for 15 million. Let's remember the clip where they thought they were having our pants down.
Middlesbrough have had Villa's pants down, haven't they? Because £8 million for a player that Middlesbrough signed for £1 million in the summer, it just seems mad.
Whoever inserted that 15% sell-on clause, howie lad, howie. You've just earned your football club another massive lump sum. I'm pretty sure your football club owe you a holiday or two. But if you thought this show was going to be all about Morgan Rogers leaving, I've got news for you, mate. There are others too. Leon Bailey, the man Tanswell at the back post, reporting the news that every Villa fan really wanted to hear. Hull City are in talks to sign Leon Bailey on a permanent basis. Not a loan, permanent. And honestly, it has gone down very well with the Villa fan base. I think we can safely say we have reached the very end of Leon Bailey's Aston Villa story. He's given moments I'll never forget. Arsenal away, those quick, pacey counter-attacks under Unai Emery. 23-24, Leon Bailey was cooking up something nice. He just couldn't find that consistency to carry it through to be an absolute star boy in the Premier League. And unfortunately for our man Leon, football moves very quickly. Granted, it wasn't helped with his injuries. And now Unai Emery and Aston Villa are ready to move on, I'm afraid, Leon. Now, I've also seen and read rumours that this is all but done. Personally, I'm going to wait till my man Tanswell fires that tweet, then I'll celebrate. Because let's be real, we have seen how Twitter transfers work. One account posts something, everyone copies it, and suddenly it's done. Until either Tanswell, Ornstein, Fabrizio, or little John Townley, everybody's favourite son, at the back post tell me this is a done deal, I'm staying patient. But here's something that truly does fascinate me. If Rodgers is leaving, Tielemans is leaving, Luca Dean is leaving, Bailey's leaving, this isn't just transfers. This is a complete squad rebuild, which I don't think many people realised, myself included. I had no idea, did not see this coming when the season ended. And that is why there is so much pressure on Oblak to get these transfer signings right. Unlike the previous regime, where Monchi would go about his way to royally fuck this up. But talking about Oblak and the good job that he seems to be doing in the transfer market, let's talk about players coming in. Kicking the day off with João Gomes from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Our babbies down the road have done us a solid, sold us their best player. Thank you, Baba Wamya. And by God, did we need it, because after all these sales this week, we needed an uplift, and we've actually signed a very, very, very good footballer. Like I say, João Gomes, done. Contract signed, medical complete, literally announced this morning, buzzing. And to top it all off, somehow we've only paid £35 million, which may rise to 38, but that is some steal. And I don't know about you Villa fans, but I absolutely love this signing. Not because he's flashy and arrogant, not because he's going to bang worldies in from 30 yards, which Tielemans had in his locker, but because every single team needs to do the dirty stuff well, and we have been seriously lacking some bad man in the Villa team for a very long time. Players that do the ugly stuff, and they do it well. They call him the Pitbull. He gets around the pitch, he's aggressive, he gets in the referee's face, wins every ball, covers every blade of grass, gets under the opposition player's skin. He's a player that when you play against him, he's an absolute wanker. But when he plays for you, he's our wanker. Does that remind you of anybody? And if you haven't watched Wolverhampton over the last couple of seasons, he's by far our best player, Bab. Because when they were struggling, and let's be honest, they have been for a while, he really wasn't. He was a standout on the pitch. And let's be honest, we really do need him. Tielemans gone. Onana done his ACL, practically out for the season. Kamara, we all know about how injury prone he can be. God, I hope Boubacar Kamara stays fit for just 1 year. And what I really like about this is Oblak hasn't panicked. He's gone, calm down, lads. I'll go out and find you a player for a low fee and high Premier League experience. That feels very Unai Emery, very Aston Villa. No drama, no circus, just let's get on with it, lads. Identify the problem and fix it. Job done. He's in your head. He's in your head. Zambi. João Manzambi. Now, firstly, what a month this young lad has had. He wins the Europa League Young Player of the Season. He then gets to the final, who Aston Villa knock him out of and win that trophy. Who then come back and say, you know what? You're a decent little youngster, you are. Get on board. Unai Emery's at the helm, son. We're going places. Join us. I bet he sat there thinking, football, this thing's kind of mad. And if you haven't seen him play, don't panic. Half the Villa fan base haven't seen him play either. We've just seen some nice reels on YouTube and TikTok. But here's what really excites me. Every report you read, every scout that's looked at him, every coach that he's ever worked with, they all say the same thing. 20 years old, huge ceiling, technically brilliant, fearless, he can create, he can play across the whole front line, and he can score those bangers. More importantly, if you've been brought in to replace Morgan Rodgers, you've got to have the techers to take some players on, and by God, this lad's footwork, naughty. Exactly the type of profile Villa want to be signing, and Villa fans want to see the club sign. Young, elite potential, and maybe some sell-on value. And most importantly, he seems developed enough to go now. He is coming straight into that Unai Emery first team. No pressure, big lad. Then to top it off, I think my favourite part of this transfer has got to be this. Roll the VT.
I am here.
Yes, you've seen that right. That is Emi Martinez quite literally asking Manzambi if he is joining the Villa live on TV, and none of us clocked it. No subtlety whatsoever, just Emi Martinez doing Emi Martinez things. Now I'm convinced if Unai Emery ever wants a player, let's not fuck around with this transfer bollocks. Emi Martinez, get in there, get it done, mate, on the pitch, drag them into the changing room if you have to, get them to sign that deal. Let's talk about this left-back situation we seem to be finding ourselves in. We used to say, who's going to start, Luca Dean or Maatsen? Now it appears Luca Dean is sodding off to PSG. Full circle moment for the fella. And who's going to be replacing him? Estupiñán, the former Brighton man who's now at AC Milan. My rhymes are looking tight. Now this one's a real interesting one because depending on what social media account you follow, the deal's either done, not done, it's either agreed, not agreed, it's either practically through the door or it's not even close to being done. The truth is, it's somewhere near the middle, so let's relax, Villa fans. There's no need to panic about any of this stuff that's out of our hands. We just got to enjoy this transfer ride. From anybody that's reliable and slightly credible, it seems to be the situation is as follows. Aston Villa and Estupiñán are in a very good place. Aston Villa and AC Milan are also in a good place. They just need to meet in the middle somewhere, as Villa are looking to lowball Milan, and Milan want to make sure they get their money's worth for this player. Like I say, personal terms, not expected to be an issue. The issue lies with Milan. Like I say, I feel like this is going to be one of these situations where both clubs shake hands, we meet in the middle, the deal gets done. Relax. Another one which is very all over the place on Aston Villa Twitter, João Palhinha. Now let me save you about 20 minutes of scrolling through social media on this one. No, João Palhinha did not secretly fly to Birmingham over the weekend. No, he wasn't spotted arriving at Bodymore Heath. No, that medical was never booked in and would never happened. It does amaze me how quickly these stories travel through the land of Twitter or X. Sky Germany swoop in, they say, 9, this is not happening. He is back with Bayern Munich. And that is the reality, Villa fans. Does that mean that the deal is dead? No, it doesn't. Not at all. Villa are still very keen on the player. And Munich are reportedly still interested in talking to the club. And the player is supposedly very keen on joining Unai Emery. It's just not as far gone as people would have you believe on X. And that's okay, Villa fans. There's no need to panic. Transfers take time. Not everything is wrapped up like Rodgers in 48 hours. And unfortunately, Villa fans, sometimes the boring truth is actually the correct one. So my bad. Let's do a quick fire run through them because there's still so much to cover. And I don't want to spend all night recording this. Now, as I mentioned, unfortunately, Emi Martinez lost the World Cup. Now, Damien Vidagani has publicly come out and said Emi Martinez is not leaving Aston Villa. He is staying, and based on that World Cup final performance, aren't we all glad the world's #1 is staying right in B6? But could things change? As you know, like the weather, football is always changing. But as of right now, Emi Martinez is still very much in Aston Villa's plans for this season. Our #1 is staying exactly where he belongs. Shout out to Forza Aston Villa, by the way. Great page. Visit Rwanda? Don't worry. We're coming back to this in a minute. I, like many other Villa fans, have quite a lot to say on the matter. Now, before we move on, what I actually want to do is sit back, take this in, Villa fans. What a transfer window it has already been. Because if you sit back and look at this, it is a fascinating transfer window from Aston Villa. We are not used to this. Out, we have Rodgers, potentially Bailey, Tielemans, Luca Dean. That's some decent cash coming into the club, even through the sale of youth prospects like Dobbins, Swinkles, even Louis Barry. They're contributing to this transfer kitty too. Meanwhile, we've got João Gomes, Manzambi, potentially João Palhinha. There are even links today of Rafael Leao from AC Milan. What a dream signing that will be. Unfortunately, I do think it's just a pipe dream. This doesn't feel like Villa is just standing still. We've gone, shit, now what are we going to do? It feels like Unai Emery is finally getting the chance to build a squad that he wants. Because let's face it, since he's been in charge at the club, he's had to work with what he's got. This feels like Unai Emery 2.0, and I don't think the Premier League's ready. And if version 1 got us into the Champions League twice, won us the Europa League, and made the fan base start to believe again, I can't wait to see what version 2 is all about. But bringing it back in, there's been one thing that has divided the Villa fan base more than any transfer could. And honestly, I don't think there's a simple answer on this one. Right now, let's slow things down, Villa fans, because this isn't a transfer story. This is a football story. Aston Villa's new front shirt sponsor is Visit Rwanda. Now, I've seen people online trying to force people into one of two camps. Either you support the sponsor so you don't support human rights, or if you're not backing the sponsor, you're not supporting our football club. And personally, I don't think it's cut and dry as that. And unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint a lot of people here. People on both sides. If you're expecting me to absolutely hammer our football club, Aston Villa, you're going to be disappointed. And also, if you've clicked expecting me to absolutely hammer the deal, you're also going to be disappointed. Because look, people, I'd rather be honest. I haven't spent months researching the politics of Africa. I'm no expert on Rwanda, and I'll tell you straight, I'm not an expert on the Democratic Republic of Congo either, so I'm certainly not going to sit here and pretend that I am just because I've got a mic in front of my face and a camera recording, because I've seen a lot of that. But look, what I do know is this is Aston Villa's biggest commercial deal ever. It's reportedly worth around 20 million a season. That is significant whether you like it or not. I also know there are respected organisations like Amnesty International who have voiced their concerns over the human rights and allegations surrounding the conflict in Eastern Congo. Now, the other side, Rwanda obviously deny these claims. So immediately, there are two very different narratives being pushed here. And here's where I stand. I think it's absolutely okay to admit that I need to do more research before I make a firm stance on which camp I stand in. And that seems to be like a genuine art these days. It's almost like pick a side now. And if you don't pick my side, we can't be friends. And sometimes, you know what the hardest thing to do is to sit back and go, okay, you tell me your side, you tell me your side, and I'll make my own mind up. But give me time. That means if evidence comes out that might influence my opinion, I'll go, okay, I'm going to take that on board, and I'll happily say so. If more information comes to light, I'll happily sit right here and I'll talk about it. That's what we're all here for, because this channel, it isn't about shouting louder than everybody else. It's not about forcing opinions onto you, the viewer. It's about having these type of conversations in the comment section down below, having a conversation with you guys right here. What I will say is this: if you love the sponsor or hate it, it has become one of the largest talking points in Aston Villa recent history. And put simply, that's why I had to address it today. Right, let's move on before the comment section catches fire. Right, let's raise up the energy. Let's get back into things Aston Villa, and let's get to my favourite part of the week, your fan questions. But wait up 1 second. This week we're doing it a little bit different. I'm going to be asking you guys the question. So rather than diving into the comment section this week, I have chosen to ask you guys a question because I genuinely want to know what the right answer is. Say Chelsea come to you and offer 117 million, but, as Unai Emery says, but you could sell them any Villa player. Who would you pick? Who do you think you really want to see out of that squad? Would you keep Rodgers, or would you perhaps say, see you later, Ollie Watkins, see you later, Ezri Konsa? Maybe you turn around Chelsea and go, you know what? It's got to be 130 million because that's what we all thought was going to happen. Drop your answer down below and you will feature in next week's Terrace View. Right then, before we finish, one thing we're all looking forward to. Tomorrow night, Warsaw. Nah, but let's be serious. Let's end this on a positive, because it is very easy, especially in transfer season, to spend every day doom scrolling on Twitter, reading the negative Nigels telling you about how our club is going to be fighting relegation this year. Let those people think the world's ending. Football is supposed to be fun. And now that it seems like we've given PSR and SCR the one-up, the thing I'm looking forward most to this week isn't unfortunately Warsaw, guys, although tomorrow you can stream it on AVTV for free. But for me personally, it's going to be João Gomes in a Villa shirt. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to surprise a lot of our fan base. I hear a lot of me old yams from our black country telling me how great a player João Gomes could be. I genuinely think he's going to surprise a lot of fans, not because he's going to bang in worldies every week, but I think given it 2-3 months time, I think a lot of Villa fans are going to be saying, damn, how did we live without João Gomes in our team? Because he's the kind of player that makes everyone around him a lot better. And I'm taking the stance of, look, Morgan Rogers is gone. I really liked him, but I'm intrigued and excited to see how Oblak and Unai are going to replace him and build this squad. Who thought the squad was going to change this much this transfer window? Get behind it, get excited. It's not all doom and gloom, lads. It might feel a little chaotic, but there is a plan behind all of this. Wake up, and if anybody has earned our trust, it's Unai Emery, and Oblak seems to be doing a damn good job trying to win our trust. Right, and ladies and gents, that is this week's Terrace View in a wrap. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, if you could drop us a like, hit subscribe, and turn your post notifications on for when we drop new content each week, I'd really appreciate it. Like I say, subscribe if you're new. We're on this journey together, and I feel like this is just the start of where this channel's about to go. The growth over the past month has been ridiculous, and I really am thankful for it, guys. We're going through this together. And what's genuinely exciting me is I don't think we've even scratched the surface of where we can go. Don't forget, I want that fan question in the comments down below. Get involved. Let's get this comment section popping. And if you've made it this far, you're an absolute legend. I've been Jay. This has been your weekly Terrace View. I'll see you on Wednesday or Thursday for our Willow Walk and Talk series. Until then, you know the score. Up the Villa. Come on, me babies! Smash Warsaw, because really going to be tough.
Up the Villa.